This is John Loughran Viewed Your Profile. I just got a new computer and I can't figure out how to get the recorder to work, so I can't play a song, which is really pissing me off. But I don't want to hold up the episode, so this episode's guest is my friend Matt Baffa from Swoop. Hello, hello. What a time it's been since we did our last episode. Sorry for the delay, guys. I know you've been sitting there waiting for this content to drop. And yes, for those paying attention at home, I have played with the wall behind me, moved some stuff around. It's more academic now. I'll get to that. So anyway, there's nothing much major to report since the last time we talked. I won some award, got deathly ill, started a new job. Okay, I'm being a little dramatic, but let me elaborate. It's been a roller coaster couple of months. Started off great, though. I actually won the freaking Nexus Award. I guess all of my subtle hints these last few years were finally caught. It was an amazing event and a ton of fun. So many people to thank. I only wish I had a forum to do such a thing, but anyway, now that I'm an award-winning salesperson, I figured I'd ditch the hoodie and try to look a little more professional for this show, hence the golf shirt and the college diploma behind me. Anyway, congrats to all the winners at Nexus, all the awesome humanitarians, those retiring, those friends of mine that are taking over for the retiring. Congrats to everybody. So I was riding high after the Nexus Awards for about a good 15 hours. And then I started feeling weird. I went to urgent care with what I thought was an ear infection, but my face started to feel weird too. And that's my moneymaker, so I had to act fast. Next thing you know, I'm going to the ER in insane pain with what ended up being an outbreak of shingles on my face. So that sidelined me for a good week and a half until I just couldn't stay in the house anymore. It was starting to get nice out, and there were like barbecues and stuff that I didn't want to miss. So I sucked it up and went out looking not fantastic. Anyway, that lingered and hurt for a while. And then one day my wife was like, "Hey, your eye is all effed up." And I was like, "Great." But not only was my eye effed up, it was the whole right side of my face. I then had Bell's palsy, which, if you don't know, is a temporary paralysis of one side of your face. I couldn't blink my one eye. I couldn't smile out of the one side of my face. I couldn't do anything. It was pretty crazy. Literally 5 of my friends sent me this pic and asked if this is what I looked like. Surround yourself with good people, they say. Bell's palsy lasted a couple weeks, and it was painful and kind of embarrassing. And right at the time that started, I actually started a brand new job. Yeah, it was time for a new adventure for John. My stock had never been higher, so I figured cash in on that. And the day I started my new job, I had a bunch of video calls and had to explain to people why I looked completely different from when they had just seen me during the interview process. Oh, and one of my kind friends continues to text me that shingles is a STD, which it's not. So to recap, Nexus Award, yay! Thanks so much to everyone that helped make that happen for me. I really appreciate it. Shingles and Bell's palsy, boo. Pretty sure that was stress-induced, so please do your best to try to manage the stress in your life. And lastly, new job, yay! A lot of you have heard from me already, and I'm super excited about this new venture with MD Calc. So let's meet, have a beer, whatever. I'll tell you all about it. It's a lot of good people and a great platform. So one last thing before we dive into this episode's interview. This is actually a bit of a milestone for the little show here. This is officially, at least I think, the 20th episode of John Loughran Viewed Your Profile. Not bad pacing for doing this for 3 or 4 years now. So with that said, I thought we'd make it a special one and have a really great guest. Unfortunately, that person wasn't available, so I got the guy who presented me with the Nexus Award. He's a gentleman, a scholar, and last year's winner of the award. He is Matt Baffa, award-winning sales executive. That's a fancy title. And managing sales director at Swoop. And my buddy, what's up, dude? How you doing?
You are also now an award-winning sales executive as well. So, after we kind of go through this interview, I expect to see your LinkedIn, headline updated.
I do I do have to update that. I did put a little blurb in the about me, but I didn't go as far as
As I did.
changing my title to award winning. You could be like another friend of ours in the industry whose name I won't say, who is a industry thought leader, which
It's
I think
funny.
is
It's funny because like how that transpired was, LinkedIn gives you like suggestions of what you should put on your profile. And so that popped up as like a suggestion, but like we were also in the process of, TI Health, my previous company, was acquired by Swoop. So
nice.
during that, transition, I was like, okay, I'm not, meeting these people for the first time. I'll update my LinkedIn, headline and update my LinkedIn profile. So, wanted to make sure that was out there as well.
It sounds very impressive. I mean, I only pick the creme de la creme of guests, and when I go through the short list of possibilities, I want the thought leaders, I want the award-winning sales executives. So you mentioned so Swoop. Swoop yep. just bought TI Health not too long ago, right? Why is the mascot of the Philadelphia Eagles buying up pharma sales companies?
I know that was my question to Jeffrey Lurie a couple weeks ago, who is the owner of the Philadelphia Eagles. He hasn't gotten back to me yet. But Swoop, TI Health, we were in the industry. I think we are well known for our HCP, targeting capabilities, programmatic, EMR, point of care. And I think Swoop, who's leading, really on the DTC side, they saw that, and, bringing us together just kind of made sense, merging to kind of powerhouses on the HCP side and the DTC side, to kind of give that unified mix of targeting capabilities for both HCP and, consumers. So it just really kind of made sense, overall to bring us together.
So you could say they swooped you up. Sorry, I'm out of here. I'm leaving. No,
I did. We had our sales meeting about a month ago. And, part of my intro was, including the Swoop Eagles mascot as part of my like intro, like who I was, because I was still meeting people for the first time. So I wanted to just make sure. And I heard some boos, but that was
any tomatoes thrown at you. I'm glad I'm not the only jackass in the industry. So that's good. So speaking of the Eagles, you're a Philly guy, right? Originally?
Yeah, all Philly sports. Born and raised in Westchester, Pennsylvania. So most of my family's there. I have a brother and sister that live in Philly now. So yeah, grew up with, the Legion of Doom, the 93, Phillies World Series, like kind of, got me into sports and all that kind of stuff. So really been, dying and, recently we've been pretty good, across the board, except for the Flyers, who are a major disappointment.
Yeah. Well, did you like their draft, taking the guy who's got a 3-year contract in Russia?
I think the Flyers are. I actually think that was the best move. Like he was, signed for 3 years. We're nowhere close to being good for the Flyers, so we're gonna, 3-4 years away. That's fine. I'm not worried about that. We can focus on the Phillies.
They said he was like the second best prospect in the draft, and they got him at like 7 or 8 or something.
Yeah, so they got lucky with that, which, they needed some luck after how bad they've been the past like 5 years.
Yeah, it's been brutal, but it has been, Philadelphia sports fan. I'm used to decades of getting kicked in the, but yeah, we had Super Bowl last year. Of course, they lost. World Series, they lost. The Union, I'm big into soccer now because my girls play soccer. They made it to the championship. They lost.
That was a brutal way to lose too. And kick off like penalty kicks at the very end when they were winning. I actually watched that one. Not a huge soccer fan, but that was brutal.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I like watching my kids play soccer, but professional soccer, I think it's awesome when somebody gets like nudged and then they go down and they act like they got shot in the face, and so that's a big soccer thing. But anyway, no, it's cool. It's good stuff. So we have a lot in common. I think anybody that has heard us talking together, not only are we both Philly guys, not only are we both award-winning sales executives, we both started our career in media. And we also both went to what I refer to as the Harvard of Northeast Pennsylvania, the University of Scranton. Are you like me? Do you find that like because you went to Scranton, companies are just like reaching out to you all the time? You know, we got to hire you. We got to hire you. We work with us. I mean,
Yeah, I
it's
mean, pretty much. I mean, the University of Scranton, I think, is just well known for, recruiting and, getting like the Dunder Mifflins of the world to kind of, reach out and, join their sales team. So I think,
yeah.
it's been tempting, but I think we've kind of, we're staying in Jersey now. So unless they're going to open up a Jersey office for Dunder Mifflin, yeah, I think we're stuck here doing
Gotcha.
healthcare and advertising sales.
Gotcha. Yeah, I have my Universitas Scrantoniensis
I saw
diploma
that.
hanging above my head. I mentioned in the opening, now that I'm an award-winning sales executive, I tried to, I don't wear hoodies anymore. I wear, collared shirts. I have my college diploma behind me, really try to professionalize this thing a little bit. What do you got? What are you bending over and picking up?
Sorry, I have to. My computer's going to die already. I didn't know how old this thing was when I
Oh, no
started.
worries, no
Yeah,
worries.
we're good.
I thought you had some kind of
It's plugged in.
Scranton something you were gonna
No.
show.
I tried to find my Scranton T-shirt to wear today, but I could not find it. So I apologize for that.
No problem, no problem. Well, I appreciate the clean white T-shirt that you're wearing. Is and I like the nice background. Where are you talking to me from?
Jersey City. So been up in the Hoboken, Jersey City area now for about 12 years, which seems kind of crazy. But yeah, been up here for a while now.
Nice. So real quick about Scranton, a couple other questions. What was your major in college?
Marketing communications. So
Marketing communications.
yeah, so that was, I guess, what was I? It was 2008, marketing communications. Yeah, so, got a combination of both the business school and the liberal arts school over there, which I think
Nice.
now, I mean, have you been there recently?
It's hard to admit, but we just had our 20-year reunion, I guess last year, and me and my buddies have all gone up every 5 years. For some reason or other, we couldn't make the 20, but so the last time I was up there was probably 6 years ago for the 15-year reunion. It's a
Yeah.
little different, a lot of new buildings, new
Yeah.
bars, tattoo parlors, stuff that would have got me in a lot of trouble.
Right. Yeah. I mean, imagine having a tattoo parlor after a night at Oscars or Cockeyes.
There you
I
go.
think
Well, speaking of Oscars and Cockeyes, you just named the two bars at the University of Scranton. Although there's others, the Green Frog. I
Green
think
Frog.
Green Parrot's a bar in Newtown where I live. Green Frog is the one that had tasty wings that I wrote my awesome article in the Aquinas about. One of my communications classes that I took was like journalism, and our big assignment for the semester was to get an article published in the school newspaper. So most people, looked for like a news story to write. And I said, can I do a review of Wing Night at the Green Frog? And the teacher was like, yeah, I guess. So that was my big article was called Bar Has Tasty Wings. I wrote everything except for the headline.
You get so many, like, if that was like, when Twitter was around or social media, you get a lot of clicks on that headline.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was a different time back then. It was print ruled. I think we had AOL Instant Messenger, and I think the internet was. I'm aging myself, but the internet was just kind of taking off.
No, that was, I mean, I was a couple years after you, but like that's still I think of everything like pre-iPhone. That was pre-iPhone, pre-smartphone, pre-BlackBerry smartphone, like all that stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's still crazy to think where we are now with like Twitter becoming X, with Threads and Facebook and Instagram, and back then there was AIM Instant Messenger and AOL basically for communication. It's kind of
it's fine. I got my first cell phone my senior year of college, and it was one of those Nokia ones with the blue screen, and I was like, "This is so cool." Yeah, but I don't even think you could do text messaging then. It was literally just a phone. Now I use my phone for everything except speaking to people. That's like the last thing I use it for.
I know, right?
Yeah. So anyway, so you probably graduated magna cum laude from a prestigious university, getting job offers left and right. How did you end up in our industry?
So it was when I graduated. I mean, I'll date myself. It was 2008, so the job market was not very kind to people during that time period. So I actually answered a Craigslist ad for
Cool.
CMI and had a couple interviews at CMI King of Prussia at the time. So that was my first, my first week on the job. Unfortunately, was during the Phillies World Series parade, so I could not make that.
Oh no.
That was kind of disappointing. But yeah, so started at CMI, worked on the agency side for a while. But that was really how I got into the agency side.
So you basically, when you went to Scranton, you said, I heard there's this guy, John Loughran. He's a legend at the bars, legend in communications. What did he do to start his career, and how can I follow that? Because I did the same exact thing, except I don't think I found it on Craigslist, but it was somehow I ended up getting my career started at CMI as well, and
Yep.
it was good
I know
stuff.
it's just funny, like you're a Philly. Like again, there's a lot of similarities between the two of us, which is fun.
Yeah, yeah. I have a bunch of questions written down, and they're kind of all over the place, but
Go
I'm just
for
going
it.
to jump around. And of course, my technology, I mentioned I just got a new job, so I got a new computer. So things are a little wonky. So my printout of my script here isn't as easy to read as it had been for the first 19 episodes of whatever this is. But what was my next question going to be? It was going to be about LinkedIn, actually.
Like yeah. So basically, I kind of just went when I joined the sales side, and obviously, when being on the media side of the business too, you have sales reps constantly connecting with you on LinkedIn, reaching out to you in multiple different ways, which as a media person, you kind of get annoyed with. But then joining the sales side, I'm like, oh, I get to be the annoying person now. So just
Yes.
going there, prospecting, connecting, meeting all the trying to figure out who's the product director for HCP marketing at like a BMS or an AstraZeneca. So you kind of just have to do a deep dive and all that stuff. So and try and connect with people.
So do you feel that having that media experience helps you in your sales role?
Yes, yeah, 100%. I was lucky enough, and I'll name drop here a little bit because I think it's fun. I was lucky enough to have some really good, people who I work like who manage me on the media side. So, AJ Dopwell, Jackie Singley, Amy Levinson, and had good team members like Naveed Patel and Carla Edmonds on the media side. Like getting to learn from them and work with them over the years and how the kind of like the media side should and does work. I think really helped out for the sales, from a sales perspective, because like what those agency counterparts are going through and like what they're working with when they're dealing with their pharma clients. So I think it gives a very good view into how they operate.
Absolutely. No, I feel like having those couple years in media before I jumped over to the sales side helped me immensely. So I was going to ask about LinkedIn. I look at each other's profiles and all that stuff. It's crazy. We have almost 400 mutual connections. You don't know 400 people, do you?
No, I think, yeah, I think 400 connections with you. I think maybe like 2,000,
Total.
overall connections.
Yeah.
And, it's, yeah, don't know 400 people at this point,
Not
again, like
well, not well.
not well,
You
not well
400
anyway,
acquaintances that you've
right?
come
Colleagues.
across. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's you connect with someone on like from an agency, and then you work with them for a little bit, then they move on, or you no longer work on that account. So yeah, you kind of just keep them, I guess. You don't really go back and like purge your connections for LinkedIn
Right,
as you
right,
might
right.
do for like a Facebook or an Instagram or something where you're like, I don't need to see this person's stuff anymore. You keep those on LinkedIn.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'll have like somebody pop up in my thread or feed or whatever you call it on LinkedIn. And I'm literally like, who the hell is this? I have no recollection of even connecting with this person. And it was probably somebody that was like an assistant media planner for like 3 months that I
Yeah.
was like, I'm going to be best friends with this person. And then they like, every morning I have my cup of coffee. I go on LinkedIn to see like who's changed jobs and gone different places. And, it's interesting, but I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of people I can name that I've worked with for 20 years. There's also a lot of my connections that are now real estate agents.
Right.
So anyway, so do you use LinkedIn a lot?
Yeah, I use it. There is like a LinkedIn, like, sales version, I would say. So I
Yeah.
think that's pretty good for finding, new clients, new prospects. It allows you to dive a little bit deeper on, like, who you need to talk to at certain companies. Like, you can go to like the company, then marketing function, then like seniority. Like, there's different filters that you can use to really kind of focus on who exactly you need to talk to, instead of like just sending out like a mass email to everyone on the marketing side. So you can really
Don't give away all of our sales secrets, Matt. Come on, man.
sorry, I'm just trying to, help those future, AMMs rep of the year
Yeah,
winners.
we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Okay.
So am I correct? I think we were talking about this at the Nexus Awards. Open bar and everything, cocktail hour. So I think we were talking about this. You were recently married, right?
Yeah, got married in October of last year, so coming up on a year, actually. So yeah, very, very happy with that. Married life. No major changes at the moment, other than looking for a house, which in this, real estate market has been quite challenging. So we're still living up in Jersey City, in a 2-bedroom apartment, but hoping to expand on that in the coming months.
Are you in one of those bedrooms right now?
I am in one of those bedrooms. It dubs as a bedroom / my office / storage, because we have so much. I don't think we've actually opened any of our wedding gifts from last year, because they're all just in closets in, here at my parents' house, at my wife's parents' house. So yeah, we just have a lot of stuff now that's just taking up space.
Nice. Well, speaking of stuff that's taking up space, for anybody who doesn't know this, you are the 2022 winner of the AMM Established Star Nexus Award. So you've got that big piece of crystal taking up space.
I do.
How awesome was that for you to win that?
It was awesome. It was very surprising too. Like, as part of TI Health and Swoop, we weren't necessarily, like, we were just coming into like joining the AMM at the time, and like really kind of getting, because it was traditionally, medical publishers, for print and digital. So we were kind of new, and I went with our friends at SSCG, Mandy and Mallory, and I was sitting with them. We had brought them as guests, and I'm sitting there, and I see my name and picture up there as like a nominee, and I looked at them, and I'm like, what the heck? I didn't know. Like, no one had even shared anything like from our company, or they didn't give a hint either. And then so that was surprise number one, and obviously the biggest surprise was actually winning it. Like, yeah. I really, did not think that was even, possible. I didn't even think I was under consideration. So like that part truly was really cool that, I was able to, win that, but very surprising.
That's awesome, man. So what was more exciting, winning it or the following year presenting it to some other clown?
I think presenting to that clown was, it was a lot of fun. The only thing I wished, and I know that they do this for a reason, like I didn't know it was you. And I was joking with you during the cocktail hour. I'm like, yeah, John, you're going to win, right? And you were like, yeah. And then, like I was handed the winner like 10 minutes before I had to go on, and it was you. And I'm like, holy crap. I'm like, this is really,
man. It's like presenting the Oscars, man. Right? You can't, spill the beans.
Yeah, I wish I could have, come up with some, funnier, stories, that I could like talk to before you got up there. But no, it was great. I was very happy that it was you and got to present to you. That was awesome.
That was awesome. So this was the 30th year of the Nexus Awards, and I've realized that literally, like a human being, when you turn 30, everything goes to shit. So literally, maybe at 29, the recipients started going downhill, but at 30, it was definitely like, this is just a bad indication of what an award-winning salesperson. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's a huge honor, and I was cool. The same way, man. I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. I didn't think it would ever happen, but so in 30 years, do you think that any university other than Scranton has ever produced back-to-back winners of this award?
I think Scranton is going to be the first, and hopefully, we need to do some digging to find out who that next person could be and start
Yeah.
campaigning for them.
Yeah.
Because I think having 3 in a row would be a big statement for the University of Scranton. We
That
need
would
to
be
make sure
cool.
that's on the alumni page as well.
I think
Uh,
they should put in the John Long Center, which I think is the name of the basketball arena. There should be a banner that says like back to back Nexus Award winners.
I agree. I agree. And, then we can start, going back up there, recruiting new people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we got to find out who's next. Who
Yeah.
can be next for us.
We'll do some digging. I'll do some searching on LinkedIn to see who in the industry went to Scranton. I think there's one guy that I know who works in sales who's a little younger than us. Maybe we can take him under our collective wings and
Sure.
really impart some wisdom, show him the right way to do things. So let me ask you. So you've crossed Nexus Award winner off your list of goals. What's your next big goal in your career or life?
I mean, in career is probably figuring out it's always what's next in terms of what's, from a sales perspective. Obviously, we've seen so many changes over the past, since let's start with the iPhone again. The iPhone comes in, that changes advertising. The iPad comes in, changes things. Social media comes in and changes things. What's really, we always talk about AI and machine learning now and data. What is the next, opportunity in the next 5 to 10 years that you could really capitalize on and really help out your clients for? Some of it is now, there's a lot of machine learning and AI that, goes into developing different programs. But what is that next big thing for in the next 5 to 10 years that really could set up our clients, healthcare, hospital, pharma, what is that thing? So I do spend time thinking about what could be next in terms of, what would benefit our clients the most in 5 to 10 years.
That was a very mature and award-winning answer. I like that. Next question. Are the Eagles going to win the Super Bowl this year?
Yes, as long as they stay healthy. I think as long as they stay healthy, I think they're going to be all these Georgia Bulldogs that are on the defense now, I think are going to take a big step forward. One of my best friends and his wife, they're big Georgia fans. She went to Georgia, so she's thrilled that there's 5 different national champions on our team now. I think our draft was awesome this year. Great. So just I think health is a big thing. They were very lucky last year. Not I didn't have any major injuries. So I think this year, as long as they stay relatively healthy, they'll be good.
It's very ironic you mentioned health because one of the pieces that they lost in free agency that I was a little bummed about was CJ Gardner-Johnson. And I saw literally the first practice of camp, he hurt his leg. So it's wild. You never know. But yes, I have a really good friend who's a huge Georgia Bulldogs fan as well. And he talks about them all the time. And I think it's a great strategy. I mean, why wouldn't you draft the best players from the best team? Just makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it makes so much sense. So I do think they have a very good, and the NFC is much weaker than the AFC. So I think, they should be able to. Dallas always chokes. Everyone says Dallas is going to challenge. They're not. They're going to choke.
God, every year.
They'll find a way. It just doesn't matter. But yeah, as long as we're healthy, I think we're the best team in the NFC by far. Maybe San Francisco. I mean, San Francisco is very good too. That's probably it.
You know what? I like San Francisco too. I think they're good, but I mean, is their quarterback really Brock Purdy? Right. Have they given up on Trey Lance? There's so many question marks. I don't even know what they're gonna do. But I'm liking the Birds. I'm liking what's going on going into the season. I don't want to bore our viewers, the dozens and dozens of fans, with too much Eagles talk. So let me ask you, you're a dude. Any awesome shows you've been watching lately that you think would be cool to recommend to the people? TV shows, Netflix?
TV shows? What's the one? I wish I had a better answer for you. I didn't come prepared for this one.
It was on the list of questions that I gave you.
I know. The one I'm watching, the one with Idris Elba now, when he's hijacked, I think it's called, or he's on the airplane that's hijacked and he's trying to maneuver through that.
Oh, geez.
I really haven't been up to speed on. I mean, Succession was obviously very good. Like, watch that. It was awesome. In terms of other good TV shows since, watch Jack Ryan. That's, pretty much Jack Ryan. Like, it's very, the same as the other seasons. Good quality watch, but nothing great. So yeah, I'm looking for a good show recommendation right now because it's the summer and there's not much on except baseball.
Yeah. Well, that's the beauty of summer. I've pretty much fall asleep every night to watching the Phillies game. I woke up in the middle of the night last night, and I think they came back and won in the 9th inning, which was nice. So that's good stuff. It's good stuff. One last question, and I'll let you run. I think we've been on for a while here. So you probably don't even know this, but you'll have to watch this episode and the opening to understand that I was actually pretty messed up for about 2 months. I got sick right after the Nexus Awards. I'm better now. But there was a time where I didn't know how long I'd be on the shelf and not able to do this. So I did contemplate looking for guest hosts for this show just to keep the momentum rolling.
Sure.
People are like, hey, it's been 2 months, put out another episode. I get emails and tweets and texts all the time about this. Not really.
Bombarded. Yeah.
So anyway, so if you were hosting, if you were on the other side of the screen here and asking me questions, anything you want to know, I mean, you've got access to fellow award-winning executive here.
Yeah, I would say, also coming from the agency and being on the sales side for a while now, what has been your biggest challenge, navigating going from different sales organizations to sales organization and then still, working with agency partners and pharma clients alike?
Wow, that's a good question. See, you didn't send me that in advance, so I don't have I have to just answer this off the cuff. There's lots of challenges. I've been fortunate, though, in my sales career to never put myself in a situation where I'm really in a bad place that's not a great product to sell. So I try to strategically, align myself with companies that I know people like and have, a legitimate chance to do business with. So, challenges are, like anything, finding the right contacts, making sure you're providing the right information, filling out. Sometimes it's a time bandwidth thing with, especially coming up in the next few months is going to be RFP season. I'm fortunate. It's kind of a double-edged sword because I've just recently joined a team that's not gigantic, which is great because it means I get a lot of accounts, which is fantastic. But on the flip side, I'm going to be doing tons of RFPs at the same time. So just kind of managing my time. But my key to success is find a company that people like, that they will do business with. And your challenges should be few and far between.
Yeah, no, that's great. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, because that's at the end of the day, you're building relationships and you're, becoming friends with these people. I think met when you were still in media, and I used to call on you, and, to be able to ask somebody, hey, let's work together. You have to be able to look them in the eye and say, it's not going to be a piece of shit that's going to fall flat, So that's key, is making sure you're working for a strong company.
Yeah, 100%.
And if not, then I don't know, just be handsome, be funny,
crack a couple jokes.
Yeah, crack a couple jokes, make sure you buy people drinks. It's, there's things to do. No, but so that's I've had a lot of really good partners in my career, and I'm just as excited about my new venture with MD Calc. They're a really cool company, and they've got a great product and a great opportunity for me and my colleagues to succeed. So, not to make this a plug for that, but I've been working with them for a month now, and when they see this and they're like, what are you doing during your day? And I say, I'm making podcasts. At least they're going to want to know that I'm giving them a plug.
Right.
So anyway, man, it's been great catching up. It was awesome seeing you at the Nexus Awards. I saw your name on the table, and then I didn't see you, and then I saw you come in, and I happened to be, I think, going to the bathroom, and I slapped you on the butt, said, "What's up?" Little did I know we'd be embracing on the stage
Right?
a
Yeah, I
couple
know.
hours later. So
Yeah.
um,
Well, this was good. Yeah, this was great. Again, thanks for having me on. And congrats again. Well deserved award for
Yeah,
the
I'm not like you, like, making a big deal out of it. It's not like I have the award sitting right above my shoulder.
mine's you can't see it, like, but it's right next to my computer. So yeah.
Nice, 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 nice. You should build a little I know you're looking to move, but
Yeah.
in the short term, you should put a little shelf above your shoulder that you can, yeah, the light would shine
Just have
nicely
it.
on the crystal. Yeah.
Once I get an actual office, I will have my University Scranton diploma out there.
Nice.
It's in a storage unit
Are you
right
gonna put
now.
are you gonna put your seventh grade football jersey on the
I
wall?
think my mom still has my high school Bishop Shanahan hockey jersey in the frame
Nice.
in the basement somewhere. So I can hang that one up too.
Nice, nice, nice. That's good stuff, man. Maybe get like a couple like beer bottles that say
Yeah,
Super
yeah,
Bowl
done,
champions.
done. Yeah, have all that. Yep, got that. Yep,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cool, man. Cool. All right, dude.
awesome.
Well, I really appreciate you doing this. It's been great catching up, and hopefully I see you out in the real world
Yeah,
sometime soon. We can grab a drink and catch up.
definitely. Thanks, John.
All right, man. I'll catch you later. Take it easy. Thanks.
See ya.
On our 20th episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and looking forward to making the next 20. Have a good one. Take care. Bye.